Hi, it's Miss Barrett. We're going to talk about illustrating a book. We're going to talk about why illustrating is important, what it is, what it does, what it says. So hold on. Here we go. Here is one of my personal favorites, Skippy John Jones in the Doghouse. It's a great book and its illustrations are awesome. This illustrator and author really took time to show some great looking illustrations. But here is a great illustration and something that helps tell the story that the author wants to tell. What if this is the way that the author illustrated Skippy John Jones in the Doghouse? Do you think it would tell the same story? What do you think? Which one is a better way to tell a story? This one, Skippy John Jones in the Doghouse? Whoa, look at Skippy John Jones! Or this one, Skippy John Jones in the Doghouse. Oh, look at Skippy John Jones. And there's his Chihuahua friends. Let's figure this out. Why is one better than the other? Okay, so we're going to talk about details. Details tell the story. First, we're going to talk about drawing details, and then in our illustrations, we're going to talk about including color. There's lots of different ways to illustrate a book. This one we're looking at right now is by an artist named Rosemary Wells. There's many, many other ways to illustrate a book, and there's lots of artists who do it lots of different ways, by taking paper and taking photographs, putting pieces of paper together, or drawing and coloring. We're going to focus today on the drawing and coloring part of creating an illustration. So here we go. Let's look at our little boy in this book. He's got lots of details, doesn't he? Well, what color is his hair? What color are his eyes? What kind of clothes does he have on? What does his shoes look like? Does he have anything in his hands? So, those are some questions you can ask yourself. The artist remembered details to tell us a story, something about this little boy, so we know a little bit of something about him. Let's go back to my book. Dun 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 dun. Can you tell much about this person? Let's figure this out. What color is this person's hair? We don't know. What's he holding in his hands? We don't know. Is it a girl or a boy? We don't know. What does his shoes look like? We don't know. Can he hear anything? We don't know. What color is his eyes? Whoa. Oh, can't figure that out. What hairstyle does this person have? Whoa. We don't know. Is it summer, winter, fall? We can't tell. The reason why we can't tell is the person who made this stick person forgot details. Now, if we want to tell a story, we've got to remember details. Let's see what happens next. Now, if I'm going to draw a person, there's certain things I probably would like to include, so I make sure I tell my story. Things like a head, a neck, arms, hands, a body, legs, and feet. But there are also other details that are equally important, like hair, clothing, eyes, nose, and mouth. So let's see if we can find some tricks to help us draw these things and then be able to draw them in our own illustration. First of all, that stick person that we started out with wasn't such a bad idea after all. What this stick person can do is help me to make sure that I include all of the parts of my body. So I start out with a head, and now I'm going to include a neck, and then I'm going to give my person a shirt. Now I'm going to give myself some pants included on that stick figure. Wow, that stick figure did help me. It helped me include a shirt and pants. Those are important details. Now I don't need it so much anymore. I can start on some other things. So it just helped me to remember. Now I am going to need a shirt, but I'm also going to need some arms. So here comes an arm right here. I'm going to include a hand on the end with 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to come over here. This person's waving. So I'm going to include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now I've got a person with some details. I'm going to start adding some feet now. I want to show my person has shoes on. And let's see, what kind of shoes should these be? I think they're going to be sneakers with bows on them, tied, and nice big treads so that he can run through the mud if he feels like it. I think this will be a boy today. So on here, I'm going to add ears. Does that make it a boy? Absolutely not. I need some other details. So this boy doesn't like to brush his hair. So I'm going to give him some messy hair. You know, this isn't the only way to draw hair. You know that, right? So how you draw your person's hair is going to help us tell details about them. Now my person is starting to look pretty good. I also want to let people know that my guy loves the number 5. I don't really know why he loves number 5. He just does. So he has it really big on his shirt. Maybe it's a team or something that he likes. So there's his big number 5 shirt. Now my person needs a face because we can't see. Is he happy? Is he sad? Is he angry? Is he mean? What is he? What's going on with his character? Well, let's see here. Here's some tricks. Here comes his eyes. I'm going to make him just have these almondy eyes. But you can just do dots for eyes too. And here's his little nose. I'm just going to do a C shape for a nose. Now, to make him sad, I can do different things. If I wanted to make him happy, I would make my line go up. Now, that makes him happy. And if I put my eyebrows up like that, whoop, my guy's happy. Now, if I wanted to make him worried or scared, I wouldn't do that. Maybe I would draw a round mouth. Woo! And make his eyebrows go up really high. Woo! He's scared now. No, he's not going to be scared. I think I'm going to make my guy sad. Oh, he's angry. Someone took one of his toys. I can make my frown face. Then he looks sad. If I put tears, he's crying. If I want to make him look mad and sad, I put my eyebrows going down. Boom, 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 boom. Now, this guy's kind of telling a story, isn't he? I remembered some details. That's really important. Let's talk a little bit about animals too. Here's some animals on this book. Notice the little animals. They all look different, even though they're drawn by the same artist. What makes them different? Take a look. Look at the color of their fur, the shape of their ears, what their features look like. This helps make animals look different. Let's try that out for ourselves. If I have an animal and I draw his head, well, that's great. I have a head for my animal, but maybe they're different types of animals. For instance, if I'm doing a bunny, I want long ears. If I'm doing a kitty cat, I want short ears. So it depends on the different animals. Maybe I'm making a puppy. I want floppy puppy ears. It's really up to me, but you have to think about the shape of the ears that the animal has that you want. Another simple thing to do is add a snout to your animals. Most animals have snouts, but not all. But you might want to add that and things like their nose. Here's his little bunny nose. Here's his little eyes. Now, bunnies, they have whiskers, don't they? So I want to make sure I add my whiskers to my bunny. There's whiskers to my bunny. Now, if I have a kitty cat, I want to make sure I got a kitty cat nose. There's a triangle kitty cat nose. There's his little mouth. And then here's his eyes. Oh, it's a girl. She's got some fancy eyelashes. And there's her ears and some whiskers. Maybe because she's a girl, she wears a hair bow. So you have to think about those things adding onto an animal. Also, if you've got a doggy or any other animal, maybe he has a nose. Maybe he has a mouth. Maybe he's happy and his tongue's sticking out. Uh-oh, maybe he's thinking about taking someone's bone. So he's got the mean eyes too. Dun, 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 dun. So you've got to think about what your doggy's feeling or person is feeling, or whoever in your story is telling what story. For instance, we look back here, we can tell these guys are pretty happy about playing their instruments. So we know by the expression on their faces. That's an important part, including details in your story. Now we're going to talk about color and background. Now most of the time in the background of a picture there's something. Every once in a while illustrators don't include anything. Like this illustrator left the background white and just has the donkey and the little boy. But the details on the donkey and the little boy are enough to tell a story. Now in this particular picture the artist did remember a background. They want to tell us something that's going on. What do you think is happening in this picture from the details the artist has included in the background? What about this one? What's happening in the background of this picture? These details again help us to tell the story. Another thing to notice is color. The artists have used color well in all of these pictures. Not one of them has scribble-scrabble on them. Let's talk about the difference between coloring and scribble-scrabble. Remember our boy? Here he is. Now he's got a nice background. Let's talk about color for a second. You know, when we color, sometimes we just want to get the job done. So we go really fast. Oh, wow. I'm going fast. In art class, I call this race car. That means I'm going as fast as I can to get the job done. I'm going so fast, I'm not even thinking about if I get all of it colored. I just want to get done. I want to win the race. So when I color, I don't think about the colors I'm using. I'm thinking about getting it done. This is scribble scrabble. There's no doubt about it. Now, if you don't want to scribble scrabble, you've got to slow the car down. So when you go in, you outline something carefully and slowly before you try to color in. And then when you do color in, you want to make sure that as you color, you are getting all the white spaces colored in, so that when you color, your car is going slow and is watching where it's going. Race cars are great. Race cars are fast. But when we color, we tend to crash if we're a race car, and we are not careful. So we have to be the slow cars to color. So when you color in, you want to make sure you slow your car down and you color in your areas so that they stay the color you want and you're not trying to win the race. Now, do you see a difference between slow car coloring and race car coloring? Which side looks better? Looking at an illustration, do you think that this artist was a slow car colorer or a race car colorer? Which one do you think happened in this picture? Let's look again. Just about all colored. Let's see what's going on here. The details still tell a story, don't they? And now that he's got color, it really helps the story to be told. I think maybe if this were an illustration, this would be about a little boy who got left on the playing field. His friends ran away with the ball. He's waving for them to come back, and he's sad. Now, just remember, when you go to do an illustration, the details tell the story. So the artists who create illustrations always include details in their storytelling. So don't forget, Snowballs wouldn't be as good a book of snowballs if the illustrations weren't great. My Kindergarten wouldn't be a great book if the illustrations weren't so good. Head to Toe wouldn't be that great if Eric Carle hadn't spent the time to make Head to Toe. And most important to me, Skippy John Jones would not be the same book if details were not included. So don't forget, when you illustrate a book, you need to remember that details tell the story. Remember to draw your details and to include color. Well, I hope this was informative to help you learn how to illustrate your books or stories or whatever it is that you want to illustrate. It's always good to remember those art ideas to make sure that they too help tell the story that your words are trying to tell. Thanks. See you later. This is Miss Barrett signing off.